Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
Good afternoon, dear faculty members. I hope you all doing well. Okay, we will start for the day. Good afternoon, sir. Satisha, is I'm audible?
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. You can start the session.
Yeah, thank you. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible before proceeding.
Yeah, yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you, Papa. Yeah. Good afternoon once again, everyone. Today, we will look into a little bit of further storage options what we have, and we will dive into the database options. What are the different type of databases we have? We will understand one or two type of databases we will do hands-on. Okay, database is one of the core in computing, I would say. If you do CRM, customer relationship management, or if you do ERP, enterprise resource management, if you do any application you develop, the purpose is to, let me go to the agenda. The purpose is to collect the data and use it again and again for different purpose. So Bestcom is creating their own application to get the electricity bill paid by the different people through online. So what they do, they collect the information from the organization, the entity, and they will display to the end user, this is what is the bill about. And when the customer pays the bill, they will store the information through which mode it was paid, what was the transaction ID, and whether it is before the due date, after the due date, all that. So over the time, it's nothing but huge data which is being collected over the time. So if a courier company collects the data, what they will do, they'll collect a lot of data about the consignments which are being received, processed, and sent. So anybody or any business application is trying to have a technology adopted, they need data to be captured, stored, and be able to quickly get that data queried for the further consumption. The consumption could be anything. It could be one transaction or it could be the summary of the entire thing. So data is very vital, and that is the reason we call it the data center as a data center, not as computer center. We have a lot of computers there, but what computers does, it helps you manage the data. So as per the plan, versioning is as per today, but we have seen it. I will take you through the lifecycle route, permissions, a glance on S3 permissions, and then I'll discuss about EBS and EFS, Elastic Block Storage and Elastic File Storage. S3 is an object-based storage where you can see the files and manage the files using the user interface browser. Using the browser, you can drag and drop, you can enable, disable, so many things. But EBS and EFS are actually drives, C drive, D drive, so like that drive. And what is around those things, I will explain. And then we will look into the database, RDS, Relational Database Services, RDS. So out of RDS, we have around 7 type of databases. We will see one of them. We will understand what is multi-AZ database, multi-availability zone database, what is read replica, how database is available to you as a service. Okay. And then we will understand DynamoDB, which is also known as NoSQL database. So for these RDS and DynamoDB, I'll be having some hands-on demonstrations and also show certain features on EBS and EFS. So let's go ahead. We have created the buckets. We have seen how to create the bucket, and we have seen that 11 nines of durability and unlimited storage, petabytes of storage. So the purpose of S3 is to mainly use for backing up your system and volumes. Whenever you want to take a backup, whenever you want to handle the files with multiple parties, applications, and other things, we use S3. It could be media files, static website, PDFs, all those things. So we have seen yesterday, my S3 bucket triggers the Lambda, and the Lambda reads one S3 bucket, converts the file, puts it into another bucket. So that is one use case. CloudFront is one such service using which we can make sure one particular data which I'm putting it into one bucket, it can be made available to all the 700 plus cached points across the world. So it's a caching service where the data will be spread across the globe to different points, as if like the end users across the globe feels that the data is available to them locally. You know, if what happens if you try to download something from US server, it will take latency, it will take a lot of time gap, right? So CloudFront helps you avoid that. So I'll show you one example. Apple.com. As soon as I type this, all these graphics, these images have loaded, right? These are all very heavy images. The moment I click on iPhone, the media files, whatever is getting loaded, it looks like it is loading from my local network. How it is being done? Though I'm accessing the US based, it is not an India website, it is a US based website. I'm at apple.com. So though the text is loaded from the actual server, all these images, high quality images, are loaded to me, not only to me, to all the users across the globe using something called as CloudFront. Athena is one of the Athena is a service. I forgot that. Glue is the ETL servers. Athena is one of the query language. So, which is like you can query whatever information you need from this storages. So lifecycle rule. Let me see how the lifecycle rule looks like. Let me show you. So I'll go to my AWS and I'll click on my favorites, which is S3. The font seems to be very small. Let me increase it. I will go to the bucket which we created. This is the only file I have. So let me go to another file, this is something I have only one. Demo user thumbnail. Okay, here I will go to lifecycle management. So what happens? Let's assume that you are owning a company and people have their laptops, and often their laptops might encounter some challenges and they want to get the operating system restored or reformatted their system. So at that time, they need to take a backup. And when they need to take a backup, I'm not allowing them to use the pen drive because I don't want them to steal my data. So what I'll do, I'll give an option for them. This is the S3 bucket, which you can use it to store your data. Once your laptop is formatted, you can copy it again. So people are very much good in taking a backup, but once the backup is taken, they really don't mind going back and deleting it. It's lying there for a longer duration. And you, as the owner of the bucket, you don't know the significance of that data. If you delete, you have a feeling that somebody might come and say, where is my data? All those things. So what I'll do, I'll create a lifecycle rule. Employee laptop backup. Apply to all the objects. All the objects means, your PDF, document, PPT, MP3, everything. Limit the scope means any file, .jpg, like that. So I will apply it to all the objects. Transition the current version between the storage classes. You know what happens in S3? There are different type of classes. What is this class? The underlying storage. If you store the information in the costly device, the read and write will be very fast. If you store your data in the not much costly device, the read and write will be little slow. There are different type of devices. SSD hard disk is there, magnetic disk is there, Barracuda hard disk is there. So different business requirements needs different type of storage. So the more performance, the more charges, the less performance, less charges. So I want to move my data from one class to another class. So as soon as I click this, you see, one section has come in the bottom. The moment I click this lifecycle rule, after 30 days. So non-current version from here, 60 days, 75 days, it should be moved. And expire the current version of the objects when you want to expire. I mean, completely delete it. 180 days. Okay, permanently delete. When you want to delete those things, 360 days. 1 year from whatever the images be. So on the 365 days is the delete option, permanently delete. Okay. Now on the 360th day, if he goes or if the person goes and accesses the file, again from that day it will start 365 days count. Because if you do not access, then your timer will start and your data or object will be moved from one class to another class. So like that, we have lifecycle rule. I can set up this lifecycle rule and I can make this. Okay, I need to give my consent. Okay, I have given my consent. To apply this rule, all the objects in the bucket, you must select this checkbox. Okay, I did. And I'm doing it. Okay, done. Fine. So that is about lifecycle rule. Versioning, we have seen. We can create multiple versions. Encryption is available in the properties. You can enable the encryption. By default, all the buckets are encrypted. And yeah, some of the use cases I added this time. For example, retail chain store, Walmart, Reliance Fresh. Okay, they store the product images, videos, logs in S3. For example, when you are loading something, Amazon shopping services. So it has a lot of images. Millions of products are there. Each product has 10 to around 10 images for their description, and some of them are also having videos. Some of them are having images and videos from the buyers. After buying, they will put the video and they will put the image. So those things can be used to put on S3, and you can make them as versioning to track whenever there is any change, how it has been looking like. S3 can be used by the faculties. They can post the course material, white papers, and you can create a static website using HTML on S3. You can put a lot of files inside the S3 bucket, and in order to make those objects accessible, you can write a static website. So like that, S3 can be used by the organization. The charges are very nominal. How to check the charges? How price calculator AWS. If you do this, you can see calculator.aws website, create an estimation. S3. I want to use S3 and my region is Mumbai. In the Mumbai region, I want to use S3 for standard. How much storage I want to use? 50 GB per month. Okay. How much data is put and get? That means copied and downloaded. I would say 30 GB. Okay, this is the number of requests. Around 5,000 requests, and get and select all other requests from S3 standard. Around 5,000 requests, and data returned by S3 select around 6 GB, 6 GB per month. You can see the charges will be $1.3 per month. The S3 charges are not so huge. $1.3 means around 100 or 110 rupees per month, I'm telling you. So, and they're giving you the breakup for which charges, for which activity, how much charges you're getting. So using this, you can easily understand what is the cost involved in this activity, and you can make sure you start using it, because the usage of these technologies should not be only limited to theory. When you start using it, as a faculty, you will be having a very good command and control over it. And also, the students are having those fluency to speak. What is this S3? What is standard? What is glacier? What is access? What is the error I'm getting? Why this error is coming? So it becomes part of your day-to-day life, right? That's price calculator. So let me go back to the next point. What I have. Versioning and life cycle. We have seen versioning, we have seen life cycle and permissions. Especially versioning, what we saw, a single file used by multiple people to upload and modify. At that time, it creates version ID for each rule. Okay. And lifecycle rule helps you move the file from one. And when you can say, hey, you can take a backup of your laptop, C drive, D drive, whatever it is, but make sure the data gets deleted after 30 days. So this is just a added benefit for you to do the system formatted. But once you get your data back, right from the day it is copied, within 30 days, it will be deleted. Otherwise, you won't be able to control the data, cost, and other things. Okay. You can give access to individuals, bucket policies and access control list, multi-factor authentication. Yesterday, we have set up multi-factor authentication, right, to configure. So you can set up multi-factor authentication for delete. Okay. Now, why do we need this? When you make some bucket as public for everybody, just for fun, somebody might get their thought to delete it and make fun of it. So that should not happen. Everybody should be able to read, but when it comes to delete, you should have the MFA configured for extra protection. So like that, all these facilities what we have are defined by the industry, what are the pain points they have. Based on that, AWS has provided the solution. Okay. One of the use case, a media company, you can think of Amazon Prime. So they will archive the old videos using the lifecycle rule. When nobody is watching that movie or a clip, it should go to archive to reduce the storage cost. As soon as somebody accesses it, it comes to the standard tier. So you can set the lifecycle rule by auto deleting old student assignments, results, all those things after 90 days of using the lifecycle policy. EBS. Let's see EBS, what it is. I will show you a small demo. I have one computer right now running. And for this computer, I want to add an additional volume. So this is running in 1C. I will go to volumes and I will create a volume of 3 GB. Okay. I will create in the same zone where the computer is running. After creating, I will attach it. Let me show you that file is not there right now. LSBLK. Right now, I have only 8 GB partition. Okay. So as soon as I choose to attach, you see this is available now. Attach the volume to this machine. As soon as I attach this, it will be available for me in this machine. LSBLK. You see, 3 GB is attached. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, now as soon as I attach this, it becomes a part. Now I need to attach this to one of the drive. So sudo mkfs -ext4 dev xvdb ext4. ext4 is not okay. -d it is, sorry, my mistake. Type ext4 and mkdir. I'm creating an empty directory /data and sudo mkdir data. So I created a folder. Now I will mount it. Mount. What is this device? XVDB. Mount. Dev XVDB to data. This is also I need to do sudo. Now df-h. This drive is available, guys, now for my consumption, 2.9 GB. I will go inside now. Sudo, sorry, CD data. Now let's assume this is my project work. MKDIR new touch XLR CD new touch MKDIR January, MKDIR February, MKDIR March, touch. I'm just creating some files so that I can explain you. Touch Jan, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay. So yum install. So if I run a command tree, I will come to know these are my files and folders created. Now let's assume that one of your student created this project and it is attached to his system and he want to send it to somebody, or suddenly his system is facing some problem and he want to take a backup. What I can do, I can go to the volume, okay, and I can take a snapshot. Snapshot is a point in time backup. What is snapshot? When you are standing, I'm just taking a photo of you. So it is the photo of you. So similarly, for the disk, I'm taking a snapshot. When I take a snapshot, the snapshots are available here. So it is creating. And this snapshot, what I can do, I can send it to others. I can send it to others. I can send this to a person who is working in Sydney. I can send it to Mumbai. I can send it to Seoul. I can send it to Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo. Anybody who's running the system in this region, I can send this volume to them. Okay. It is taken backup. Now I will copy the snapshot from US East 1 to Mumbai, AP South 1. Okay. I can copy the snapshot. Now that I go to Mumbai, I should be able to see the file created, volume created. This is currently getting created. What we will do, we will create a system here. Launch a system, Amazon Linux. I can create one machine. Okay. And after creating a machine, it should be ready by now for the demo. It is completed. Actions create a volume from the snapshot. Snapshot to volume. So in order to do it, let me see where my system is running. It is AP South 1B. Okay, I'm still in Northern Virginia. Let me shift myself to Mumbai. And in Mumbai, I'm going to the snapshots. It is completed. Actions, create volume. And my system is running here. Volume will be created. 3 GB volume. Okay, it is available. Actions, attach volume. This is the machine running. this machine is available to the system which is running inside Mumbai. This is Mumbai, guys. This is the new system, and I'm connecting to this machine. LSBLK. The 3 GB machine is available. Mount device XVDB to. So I need to create an empty directory first. mkdir project. This one I'm creating inside the root. Mount. What is that I want to mount? Device XVDB to project. Okay, my mistake. There is a spelling mistake here. That is why it is. I was thinking why it is not. Okay. ls-df-h. I can see the project is here. cd project. Yum install tree-y. Just to show you the output, I'm installing the tree command again. So this machine is running in US 172.31.93.55, and this machine is running in India 172.31.0.25. Tree, you can see the same files which I created: XLR, last found, new, Jan, Feb, March. I did not see XLR here. Tree-a. How come XLR has come here? Okay, looks like it is created new. It's okay. But CD project. Okay, the point, one more point I want to tell you here is I have a very important application installed on this 3 GB drive. Okay, this volume. And tonight I'm trying to upgrade my application. And I'm a little skeptical. After upgrade, my application may work or may break. So at that time, what I'll do, I will go to actions and I will create a snapshot. And when I create a snapshot before the upgrade, it is something like taking a backup. Once I take a backup, I can easily go for upgrading it. What happens? Max to max, if the upgrade fails, I will be able to use my backup tomorrow morning. So that is as simple as that. Restoring your application to last known good configuration. So snapshot can be used in two ways. One is to take a copy of your drive and share it with others, other computers, other people. The second one is you can take a backup of the individual volume. It could be having SAP, it could be having database, it could be having application files. You can take a snapshot and you can restore it in case of any surprise in your application upgrades or releases. Okay. Now I have one more thing called EFS. Let me go to Northern Virginia and navigate to EFS. that is block storage. Let me explain the theory part before I go to EFS. Block storage means the information is stored into block levels, individual block level. It's the lowest individual block which can be stored. Different type of block storages are there. GP3 means general purpose. IO2 and IO1 means intensive. SC means cold hard disk and cold data. So this is mainly used for archival purpose. So you have seen how to take a snapshot, to take a backup, and also be able to restore. One of the use case, financial company using EBS for high throughput. The benefit of EBS is the read and write is very high. Throughput, read and write information is very high, especially for databases, SAP, operating system, and all those things. So if you attach EBS volume to a student virtual machine, it is known as persistent storage. That means you can choose to retain the storage even though the machine is deleted. EFS. What is EFS? You have around 200 students in your college and you want everybody to install Java in their laptop. 200 people downloading 270 MB of data. It's huge, lot of redundancy, lot of internet bandwidth is being spent. What you can do, you can download one EBS, you can download one Java 200 MB or 270 MB file, whatever it is, and you can put it into one drive and you can share that drive with everyone. So that is called elastic file storage. This elastic file storage works on NFS model, network files system model, and you can mount it to multiple systems at a time. There is no capacity. As soon as you start, create a file system and create file system. You don't have to mention what is size, what is GB, what is this, all those. So this is unlimited. Okay. I have one drive created and I have named it as softwares. And let me attach it to the machine which I am running. Northern Virginia, I have one machine. This is the Northern Virginia machine. Looks like it is hand. I will connect it again. There are commands to attach. You can use it like this. You need to create a folder like this, EFS or any of your name. mkdir my EFS. Can give the command my EFS. df-h. You can see this is MB, this is GB, this is what? Exabyte. It's beyond petabyte. 1024 terabyte is equal to 1 petabyte. 1024 petabyte is equal to 1 exabyte. CD my EFS. So this is currently having certain files. Let me create one more machine in the same Northern Virginia. I won't take much time. I will simply create one machine and I will attach the same drive to other machine also. During the launch itself, you can attach EFS. Okay. So let me launch the machine and then connect to it. This is the second machine which is coming up just now, 4422. Okay, this is running and I'm connecting to this. One D. So I'm copying this command, mkdir softwares. df-h. So softwares is available. Here I will create one folder, mkdir July. On the other machine, I will check ls-l, July is created. You see, cd July, ls-l, nothing is there. Touch Monday. The other machine, you see, cd July, ls, Monday is there. Touch Tuesday. The other machine you see. So like this, single drive can be attached to multiple machines. This can be used for software repositories and antivirus definitions. Usually what happens in defense, right? In defense, Navy, defense, all the machines are not connected to internet. Only one machine will be connected to internet and they will download whatever necessary updates are required. And rest of the machine connects to that and gets whatever packages, patches, all those things are required. So it reduces a lot of redundancy and deduplicacy. And yeah, if you have your lab filled with 50 to 60 machines, you will be installing a lot of things in it, right? Microsoft Studio Code, Microsoft .NET packages, Java, Python. If I ask students to install JDK, one person will install JDK 17, the other person will install JDK 11, the other one will install JDK 8. So, but if I put it here and I will pass the instruction, all of you install Java from this storage, this path, everybody will be consistent and the result will be consistent. So like this, there are so many use cases for EFS. So this grows and shrinks automatically. You don't have to worry about the capacity. It's ideal for shared scalable workloads. For one of the enterprise use case, engineering firm stores simulation files accessed by multiple analysis servers. You can share the lab files between different students using different collaborative coding exercises. So that is something about EFS. We did EBS and EFS. Let me move to RDS. Database is very important. Data is the fuel. Data is the new. The war is happening between the data now. So that's how data has become very important. If you lose the data, your business will go back to Stone Age. This is how it is. So AWS has something called as managed relational database services, and they give you Microsoft SQL, MySQL, Postgres, Oracle. This is Microsoft SQL Server, MariaDB, IBM DB, all those things. This is the dashboard, and this is how the database RDS service looks like. How many databases you have. You can take a snapshot of the database. You can take the manual backup. You can take automated backups, all those things. So once you go to database instances, you can see the database which are running. You can also create the database. How many types of databases are available? One is Aurora. Aurora is a proprietary database of AWS. It is from the scratch developed by AWS. AWS MySQL compatible Aurora, Postgres compatible Aurora. After that, they have MySQL, they have Oracle, paid database. MySQL is free, Postgres is free, MariaDB is free. So three free databases. That means database license is free. Running the database is not free. So if you choose Microsoft SQL, IBM DB2 and Oracle, along with the license, you'll get the infrastructure cost. Aurora is also paid database, but it is compared to Oracle and MySQL, MS SQL, it is much less. How do you want to use this? The moment you select Postgres, you can see which version of the database you want to go for. You can choose the version of the Postgres from the list. Postgres 11.22 to Postgres 17.5, all those things are there. Okay, once you choose the engine version, you need to choose, do you want to go for production? Production means it starts 3 copies. Availability zone 1 will be having primary database, which is read and write. Availability zone will be having 2 databases. Second database, which is only read. Availability zone 3 will have a read database. So here, for example, Amazon Web Services has a database, and during the flash sale, everybody is trying to connect. So it becomes slow. So what you can do, you can create read replica, which gets a synchronization from the master database. This is master database, and this is replica. So what I'll do, all the buyers traffic, I'm sending it here. All the sellers traffic, I'm sending it to master database, because sellers want to post their product. They want to create a description. They want to create a configuration. They want to upload the photo. How many sellers are there? Hardly 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. How many buyers are there? Millions and billions. So I can create multiple read replicas, and I can get this data synced. So all the buyers will go to read replicas. I can create multiple read replicas. So this is one way. The second way is the master database will be there in one availability zone. Standby, this is called primary database, which is having both read and write. And this is called standby database. And if something happens to this region, and if it is not available, AWS suddenly switches the connection from primary to standby. And it will stop this primary, and it will allow the application to connect to standby. So this happens automatically without our knowledge. So like that, in multi-availability zone database, you can create 3 copies. One will be in primary, the other 2 will be read only, which is also known as standby. So this is, if you go to free tier, you can go for single availability zone. If you go to multi-AZ 2 instances, availability zone 1 and availability zone 2 is primary and standby. So you can create the master username, you can generate the password, whatever password you want to give. Okay. And there should be some CPU memory to run your database, right? That you can choose here. If you choose T4G micro database, 1 year it will be free for you. One database for the free tier. After 1 year, it will start charging. So you can choose different type of systems, 32 GB, 8 CPU, all those things. How much storage you need for database, you can choose accordingly. Do you want to connect to computer or not? If yes, to which computer you want to connect? You can easily pick up the integration. Publicly accessible, yes or no, you can choose. VPC, availability zone, additional configuration. Do you want to enable the monitoring? How many calls are happening? How many errors are happening? So you can choose this. The database will be monitored for your application, database performance. Do you want to take a backup? Sorry, whatever data is monitored, that monitoring data, how many days you want to store it? It allows up to 24 months, which is 2 years. Encryption key. Do you want additional monitoring? Enhanced monitoring, can choose enable. Smaller granular data, logs. Okay, you can enable backup, automatic backup. Postgres 1, that's an A. Every day a backup should happen. And what time the backup should happen, I can choose. I can choose the backup should happen at 11 o'clock in the night. The duration of backup should not be more than 0.5 hours. And how many days I can store the backup? Up to 35 days I can store the backup. Backup replication. Once you take the backup in India, the backup should be somewhere else to make sure it is not lost. You can move to another region. Postgres releases some patches and packages during the critical time to bug fix and other things. If there is a release, do you want to upgrade or not? So if by choosing this check mark, it will be taken care. When it should happen, usually people upgrade the database during Saturdays and Sundays. So I can choose it for 6 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. If you enable this protection, you cannot delete the database. You have to go to configuration, disable this, and then delete. So with this configuration, whatever charges you will get, it can be seen here. Right now, I've selected free tier, so no charges. So if I select production, accordingly, the charges will be shown. Okay. Now, these are all options. Once you hit create database, it will get created. So you have the database here. This is the database host name. This is the port. And this is the username, password. What is the storage capacity? What is CPU memory? Engine, all these things. You can create a replica, create read replica. Some parameter has to be provided, it seems. Yeah, read replica is creating. So once you create in your application, the buyers traffics can be sent to here, the sellers traffics can be sent to here. So that is how we can create databases. Before this, by the time it is available, let's see what are the different type of databases available. See, when the humans invented car, it was the only car. You go to city, it's the same car. You go to intercity, it is the same car. You go intra-city, it's the same car. You go to shopping, it's the same car. If you go to mountains, hills, valleys, it's the same car. Over the time, what happened? People started asking for specific use cases. I want to have a truck where I can store my agriculture goods in the backend, but still I want to have a cabin where I can use AC. Trucks have come. I want to have more mileage because I travel intercity. So accordingly, more mileage vehicle come. I want to go very fast. So you have what? Speed cars. I have a big family. I need 7 members car. So you have MUV. I want to have a hatchback. I'm the alone person. I want to go a lot of market. So hatchback has come. So like this, purpose-based vehicles have started coming in terms of cars. Similarly, when it comes to databases, when we have initial databases, we have RDS only. And other type of businesses were having some challenges to use RDS for their businesses. It was not suitable. Now there are different type of databases. Let's understand. One is relational database, which is Aurora, Postgres, MySQL, all those things. And the second one is NoSQL database, key value pair. One is relational database, which we just saw now, relationship database, Aurora. Redshift is a data warehouse. Okay. Now, whenever the data is very huge, very rigid, you can see when the data has predefined schemas, relationships, and database are designed to support ACID transactions. ACID means append, copy, insert, delete. So these are the operations. So whenever you have such kind of rigid things to manage the customer relationship, to manage the enterprise resource planning, you can go for Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL, all those things. Aurora is also one of the relationship database. Now, Redshift is something, it's a data warehouse. When you have huge amount of data, let me use my whiteboard to write something. So I have the database. It is, let's assume it is 1 terabyte. Okay. And this has the data from 0 to last 3 years. This I can directly use in my shop. So I can do the billing. I can query the billing. Anybody is coming by warranty claim, I can do all these things. But my shop is 20 years old and I'm having used this database from last 10 years. All this 10 years data could be around 30 terabyte. So if I choose to do the billing here, the latency will be very high. I have to wait. And this kind of data, we use it for business analytics. Let's take an example. A courier company is there and they want to understand if they want to open one more branch from Chennai to Bangalore. They want to understand how much business we have did in last 5 years. So what they will do, they will write a big queries and they will run it on the data warehouse. How many parcels we sent from Chennai to Bangalore? How many are 500 grams? How many are less than 500 grams? How many are documents? So it's called looped queries, PLSQL. So that kind of query puts a lot of stress on this database, causing the real-time transactions to wait for a longer duration. And for this purpose, I need to have the small database where the data is relevant for the warranty-based devices. For 10 years data, I don't have to connect my system for 10 years of database because this is something huge. I don't need all these things. So this is called OLAP, analytical processing. And this is called OLTP, online transaction processing. So this is where we have RDS, which helps us achieve things. And this is where we have Redshift. Okay, I think that makes sense. We will divide the data for analytical purpose and transaction purpose. Okay. Now, all of us are having cell phones, and the cell phones are having the application called contacts. And those contacts, actually contacts is an application which has its own database in the backend. Even WhatsApp has its database. And many applications are there. Small games are there. Those games are having its own database, depending on which level you are, what is the ammunition you carry, what are the goodies you carry, points you carry, all those things. Now, for those mobile-based applications or data applications, I cannot use Oracle. If I use Oracle, if I use Postgres, first of all, my phone will not function because it needs such a amount of CPU memory. And moreover, it is too much resource consumption. Within no time, your battery will get drained. So for those kind of lightweight applications, we have something called as DynamoDB. And it is also known as NoSQL database. So here, data is stored in key value pairs. And the data is not rigid, it is very flexible. Using this DynamoDB, you can store the value in a flexible manner and you can easily refer it. In-memory cache. So each and everything, first of all, databases are saved in disk, and disks are not so fast. Whenever you run query, it takes its own sweet time to get the response. So high performance applications need faster response. So what happens, as soon as you turn on the machine, the entire database sits on the RAM memory. And we have something called as elastic cache and memory DB for that. So it becomes extremely fast for you to run the queries. Tens of 15s of days of query will run in few hours. That much level of speed in memory cache will bring it to you. Amazon Memory DB. The entire database directly gets loaded on the memory and it is available with high speed for your documents. Organizations have a lot of documents, user guide, developer guide, product manual, white papers, architecture diagram, high-level architecture, low-level architectures. So all those databases should be stored in the right fashion and be able to easily access. So Amazon has something called as DocumentDB. In the market, you might have come across Confluence, and you might have come across Microsoft SharePoint. So you can store your documents and you can add the instructions. What is this document all about? Why we have to use it? And the document should be able to searchable. Others should be able to search it. You should be able to add tags, like that. Graph. What is graph database? Graph database is most widely used in social networking. How do you get the recommendation of the old friend who have not met you in last 20 years after the school? What graph database does, it always tries to meet the common points with the particular data. Your college, their college, your age of, date of birth, date of year, year of birth, their year of birth. Both common friends, both birth city, both studied in the same college school, both worked in the same company, So it tries to find that relationship and it gives you the recommendation. Do you know this person? You'll be happy. But how it is done? There is something called as graph database. Amazon Neptune helps you achieve that. Fraud detection. I am working in a government company, government department. I have a new work to do. I have to get the work done. I have my own friend who is currently doing the contract work. I will call him, hey Rajesh, I will put up the work for you. I will make sure it is coming to only you. Once you get the work, you transfer 20% of the billing amount to me. Don't directly transfer to me. You transfer it to your wife and she transfers to my wife and we'll do it. No, these kind of fraud detection can be easily found out using graph database. Many people do, business in their wife's name, parents' name, in-laws' name. So the detective agencies use this kind of database to feed the data and be able to understand where the money is going, how the money is getting laundered from one country to another country, from one NGO to another NGO. We might be thinking we are very smart, but systems are even very smart. They work tirelessly 24/7. That is fraud detection, social networking, recommendation, use cases, all those things. Wide column. Flights, Uber. There is a company called VRL in Karnataka. You might be knowing it. VRL is very famous in terms of transportation. So for every vehicle, he has different route, different fleet management, how many vehicles are there, how many goods vehicles are there, how many passenger vehicles are there. So there are a lot of companies in Bangalore also who is aligned with different companies to provide the shuttle services. So they need to manage their equipments, their vehicles. So which vehicle is due for maintenance? Which vehicle is due for insurance renewal? Which vehicle is due for FASTag update? Which vehicle's route is what? Which vehicle can go in this route? Which vehicle cannot go in this route? So there is something called as wide column. Amazon Key Spaces is a product or service using which you can manage your equipment. somebody is giving a rent, lot of generators. His job is to give the generator for rent. A lot of movies are getting shooted, a lot of web series, a lot of serials are getting shooted in different part of Karnataka. One person is there, his specialization is to send the generator for different units. So he want to maintain those things. There is one person who sends the laptop on a rental basis, printers on a rental basis. So a lot of things are there where you send your JCB for work, for earth moving works, lorries. So to maintain those kind of data, you have Amazon Keyspace to go for wide column database. So one vehicle, lot of parameters, time series database. So a lot of IoT devices are there, thermostat. What is the temperature of this particular furnace? Or what is the temperature of this particular container, which is currently holding some liquid? So it has to monitor every 15 seconds. So 15 seconds, this is the temperature. 30th second, this is the temperature. 45th second, this is it. So every data has a time associated with it. DevOps, CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization. When we collect what time, what is the utilization? That is when we are able to create the graph. Industry telemetry. So a lot of industries use IoT devices, thermostats and other things. That's where this time series database comes. Google Maps, at what time, where you are. So while you travel, your GPS location is captured against the time. So share market, every second the shares are getting changed. So in order to capture such kind of data, you have Amazon Time Stream. So these are different type of databases which we have around. And by now my database is ready, it seems. Let's go ahead and see this database. So let's connect to this database. How do I connect to this database? I need to install something, PLSQL. I have created one instance before the class to show you the database. Not so long, but just before the session. This is Northern Virginia, right? I think at 3 o'clock I started one machine. Let me connect to this machine. PSQL. This is the command. PSQL. Okay. It is getting identified, right? So it is not telling the command not found. If you don't have it, it will throw an error. Let me show you the other system. If I run the command PSQL, it says command not found. In order to search this, DNF search Postgres. It's a very simple command. I'm not installing the database. I'm installing the client to connect to the database. Okay. I will install Postgres SQL 115. DNF install -y. It is installed. Now I run PSQL. It says different message. Okay. Now let me connect to the database. PSQL -host. what is the name of the system? What is the name of the database? So I'll go to the database and I'll click on this. This is my host name. Okay. Hyphen capital U, username, Postgres. Hyphen D, database name, Postgres. So after this, hyphen P, password, 5432 is the port number. Postgres is the password. As soon as I run this command, Postgres prompt has come. Right now, let me create some tables. Create location pg underscore default, single quote, create table space. Okay, error cannot create a table space, my space in the location. Absolute path. Okay, cannot create table space. The location is this. Okay, but you can create table space with the create table space my new space location RDS DB data customer space single quote colon that. Okay, created. Now, once you create the data, that particular table space, you need to create. I'm just showing you. We can do some activity, which is like creating a table space. Create table employees ID serial primary key name text not null. That means there has to be some entry. Role has to be in text. Table created. Insert into, this is the last command, employees name role values Alice analyst. This is the role. Okay, I missed some of the quotes here. Because the next one, I will try to run it on the read only so that I can show you the error. Bob. What is the role of Bob? Let me, engineer. Okay. Okay. Select star from employees. Okay, my mistake. I should give the, okay. Select star from employees. Okay, the small letter. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, two people are created. Now, let me create a read replica. So read replica is already created. This is the read replica. And using this, we should be able to run some same commands. Let me try connecting to this database. I will exit from this by exit. Clear. Now, the next time when I connect, I will be using my read-only database. So I'm removing this host name. Instead of this main database, I will give the read-only replica name. So I have logged inside the database. Now let me create a table space. Create table space. My another space location /rds /db data /my dir. Just a moment, guys. Okay, sorry, somebody was there at my desk. Now, you see, I'm trying to create the table space, but it clearly says it is a read-only transaction. See? So why? Because I'm trying to show you, we executed another command, right? Select star from employees. I'm able to read, but I'm not able to write. So in the application, when the user logs in, depending on his profile, whether he's buyer or seller, I can choose to redirect him either to the master database or primary database or to the read-only database, read-only replica. So this is something about the read replica. So, and if you want to take a backup, just click on this, go to actions, take a snapshot. So if you want to move this database from one place to another place, So looks like it is not accepting this special characters. Okay, this is different snapshot name. Postgres snapshot. This is, it is going to create a snapshot. Once the database snapshot is created, you can go to actions and you can copy the snapshot from Northern Virginia to some other region. And yeah, that's one thing. The other thing, you can select the database and you can increase the, this is backing up. That is the reason some options are grayed out. You can create read replica, you can convert it to multi-AZ deployment, you can take a snapshot, you can take a custom backup. Okay. If you already have a backup, you can restore to point in time, all those things. You can see the monitoring is happening. Everything. I mean, you don't have to manually do anything. Everything is available. You just have to start using it by knowing the limitation and capabilities. The students who are creating the applications with database, they can have 1 year of free database. So that is huge actually for the students. RDS, you can see database. So 750 hours of Amazon single availability zone database T3 micro instances are free for per month 750 hours. So it's going to be a huge facility for students. They don't have to struggle installing the database because they want to work on application development. They want to work on certain use cases. They don't have to spend time on understanding the database, installing it, configuring it. And if they don't do it properly, their actual objective will be hitting the challenge. So like that, they can go to this Amazon free tier for 1 year and they should be able to get some good benefits out of it. Okay, that is the RDS. Now let's move to DynamoDB. What is DynamoDB? DynamoDB, it should be somewhere here. Yeah. You can create tables and you can access those tables with key value pairs. You see, CET aspirants. I have created one. The point here is, let's assume our day-to-day life example. I have mobile phone. In my mobile phone, there is an application called Contacts. It has numerous fields. But when I meet you for the first time, I will store your contact number, your name, maybe your location or college where you work and all those things. Like Ramesh, GMIT, DVG, contact number. That's all for the first time when we meet. But as we start meeting again and again, because of various scenarios, I will come to know about him more and more. I will add his additional contact number. I will add his email, personal email, college email address, uh, mail address, his house address. I will add his photo also. I will add his house location one day. How many things you have for your parent? You have first name, proper last name, the contact number, business contact number, personal contact number, email IDs, date of birth, papa's Aadhaar card, blood group. See, what I'm trying to say here is, for one contact, I'm having 20 parameters. The other contact, I have only 3 parameters. First name, last name, contact number. RDS is not like that. If you define 20 parameters for contact, for each and everything, it will take 20 parameters only, though you fill it or not. It will take so much space. That is how things are designed there. But when it comes to DynamoDB, let me show you the table which I have created. For this particular registration number, I don't have the age. I have the contact number. I don't have the distinction. I have first name, last name. I don't have the location. For the other contact, I have age, no contact number, distinction, and first name, last name, location, and subjects. What are the subjects he is currently here? The other person, he is still not completely registered. So, it's not allowing me to create. Okay, let it be. Okay, so like this, the point that the key value pairs, the data is something can be saved as key value pair. Download results to CSV. Save. CSV, comma separated value. You see, for this contact, only 5 values are taken. This one only 4 values, and this one it is taking 7 values. So like this, it is very flexible. And applications will be able to create a flexible small databases for themselves and be very much performance oriented. All those things. Coming back to this, I can create global tables. One team is working from one country, another team is working from another country. You can create global tables. So I can create this CET aspirants and I can go to global tables. I can create replica into another region so that people from other region should be able to connect to that particular replica. It's very much just like click, like a play. You don't have to come with a lot of traditional language. You know, nowadays students, they're not so religious, they're not so they're not so loyal, they're not so loyal, they're not so serious, all those things. You might have felt about it compared to your days. So even the tools are coming like that. The cell phones, the applications inside the cell phones, the cloud architecture, the cloud basis. So it's okay. The generation is like that. Accordingly, it's always demand versus supply, right? Based on what kind of demand is being asked, industry starts working towards providing such solution. So like that, DynamoDB is a NoSQL database, and you can create these tables, you can create these items, and you can explore it based on your application. Right? So most of the application, your photos, gallery, it has its own database, it has indexing. And WhatsApp is best use case. It has a lot of databases. A single database, it sorts the data in such a way. Contacts is a database. Normal SMS is a database. Games are having small database inside. So those databases are storing the information in key value trace rather than storing it in a rigid format like RDS. Coming back to this, RDS, you can create automated backups. You can create every Thursday or every Friday, I want to take a backup. You can schedule it. You can create multiple read replicas to increase the performance. You can create multi-AZ to increase high availability. High availability means when one database goes down, the other database will take care of handling the traffic. So you can do the encryption of the database during the transit and rest. Some of the use cases, healthcare platforms, hospitals and other things, they can use multi-AZ databases for highly available applications and read replicas for reporting and dashboards. Faculties runs different classrooms and classroom analytics queries. RDS read replica without affecting the main database. So you can run the analytical query on the read replica without causing any performance issue on the main database where finance team is trying to enter the fees payment details. At that time, if you run a very big analytical query, the main database will become hang before till it gets the result. So it's better to detach the data to an isolated replica to run such analytics. Of course, main database and replicas will be having keep on synchronization, and that will make sure both are not interfering in each other's transactions and analytics. So DynamoDB, it's serverless. Let me show you one thing. I'll go to dashboard and I'll create the table. You have seen me creating the RDS, right? It was asking a lot of questions. So here, just a name, partition key, and that's all. Create, that's all. It is not asking it is not asking CPU, it is not asking memory, it is not asking storage. So AWS takes care of whatever is required. So that is why we call it as serverless key value and document database. Designed for low latency access at scale. Flexible schema, as I told, for one person I have 20 parameters, the other person I have 4 parameters. It supports auto scaling, in-memory cache. It integrates with other AWS services very easily. Sorry. So with Lambda, with API gateway, it easily integrates. And yeah, some of the enterprise use cases, I would say, the gaming company, any game which is coming in Facebook, you cannot think of having Oracle database for it. So it should be very quick. So that's where we can think of DynamoDB. You can build a sample leaderboard in the DynamoDB backend classes. So all these are just examples for IoT data, mobile apps, real-time analytics. It offers TTL. TTL means time to live. When the data is pulled, you can mention the time validity for that particular data. So it can send you streams. You can also have individuals who can read, write, and access in different manner. You can create policies. There are different type of query languages which are available to query the tables. You can enable paper request if the DynamoDB table is used by multiple people. You can go for that. And you have enterprise use cases. Many people use this nowadays because when you go to free tier, you can also see DynamoDB free tier. Pricing. On demand and provision capacity. This is hourly read and write, and this is per read write. Overall, this gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of storing the data and reading it for various things. This is one of the use case, vehicle tracking. I think Eagle Eye, recently you might have seen this. Eagle Eye put it on the trucks. It's a service. Truck drivers can get the service to track their trucks, whether the drivers are going in the right direction or not, whether they are taking some unwanted stops. If the vehicle is not moving, it's stationary for a lot of time, they can check, they can track the vehicles, right? That can store the data into some of the DynamoDB students. Students can use this DynamoDB to build a weather dashboard, time against the temperature, humid, and other values. So they can use this DynamoDB without much complexity and cost around. Yeah, we have seen RDS and DynamoDB. So now I'm open for any discussion. I think what's the time? Let me see. Yeah. Go ahead. If you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat. I'll be able to take that up and help you get the response. Let me see the chat. Harshita. Explain MariaDB. MariaDB, Harshita, it's a product actually. I'm not a database expert. MariaDB, I know a lot of students are working on MERN stack. MariaDB is one of the demand there, but my exposure is towards more cloud rather than database. I know what is required to perform WordPress and other such labs. MariaDB, I'll check with internally with the people what we should be able to do it. I'll request Amar to capture the requirement from Harshita so that we can go back to her. I think Harshita has already left. I can see the message. Okay. So that's all I have, folks. I can see some people are dropping. Thank you very much for today's participation. If you have any queries, you can stay back. And thank you. Thank you, folks. Bye. CouchDB. So CouchDB is also one of the database. The type of database, I heard it somewhere. That is also NoSQL, but it is open source. It is also very much popular in developer. I think it is available from Apache, somebody. Apache CouchDB. Yeah. It's one of the open source database. Yeah. Yeah, CouchDB and DynamoDB both are similar from different vendor. Thank you, Gangaram. Thanks for your heads up. Thank you, Malinath Swami. Thank you, Tracy. It was nice having you all today. Compared to last 2 days, participation was little low. Kindly encourage your colleagues and fellow faculty members to make sure they get better benefit out of it. Nitya, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So if you are done, we can wind up. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dear faculty members, so this just a reminder, I have just shared the attendance link on the chat. Please mark your attendance as attendance will be active only till 5:30. And one more thing, please don't ask for yesterday's and day before yesterday's attendance, as I already informed by in yesterday session, we are not able to share the previous day attendance link. Okay, we'll wait for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes till 5. If you guys have any questions related to subject or anything, you can just ask to sir. So we will wait for 10 minutes. I mean 6 minutes till 5 o'clock.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I think there are no questions. I see people are leaving.
Yeah, even all the questions, whatever I got in the chat addressed, it's all about the compliments. Thank you and all. So
Okay.
it's like don't
Mhm.
have any questions. If you happen to get anything later, we can bring those things for discussion.
Yeah, sure, sir. No problem. Then we can just wind up for the day as
Thank
people are leaving. So we'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
class.
Thank you
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, dear faculty members, as I told, please don't ask for yesterday's and day before yesterday's attendance. Please mark today's attendance before 5:30. Okay. So yeah, we are winding up for the day. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.